Luther discovered in Scripture that all Christians are priests, not just a select few who've been ordained, and Jesus Christ is our high priest. He realized in Scripture that there is no mediation by the Virgin Mary, and nor by the saints, nor the priests, and that everybody can come directly before God in prayer. When we think of Luther, okay, that's 500 years ago, what he said was revolutionary, and we today reap the fruit of what he said from Scripture. We receive the blessings of what he was arguing. Protestant principles elevate the individual and both the spiritual rights and responsibilities of you and I today. They emphasized hard work, industriousness, private property, contract law, and liberty of conscience. And America was built on those Protestant principles in the Bill of Rights and in the Declaration of Independence. And so these rights include, they're all Protestant principles: freedom of speech and freedom of the press, free exercise of religion, freedom against self-incrimination. You can take the fifth. You can't be compelled to speak in a court. The independence of the jury from judicial dictation. The right not to be imprisoned without cause. Our Bill of Rights as a whole. The social contract that we have in America with government by consent of the people. We're not a dictatorship. The government rules by consent. Or as Abraham Lincoln put it, a government of the people, by the people, for the people. And we're losing that right now in front of our eyes. We now have a government of the elites, by the elites, for the elites. And the rest of society can rot. That's where we're going as a society. And so our society is running into trouble. So Protestant principles, Protestantism freed people in the Middle Ages from a cruel, bloodthirsty, vindictive, totalitarian hierarchy known as the Roman Catholic Church, which killed, historians estimate, over 50 million people. I mean, the death toll is incalculable, and those deaths weren't just in concentration camps, and that would be an easy way out. Many people were tortured in the most horrendous way to death because of their faith in Jesus Christ. The Roman Catholic system is a bloodthirsty totalitarian system, and it has never apologized for its past. And as we're going to see, some of its worst atrocities were committed in living memory even today. We're going to see that later on this afternoon. The Reformation principles of Luther, it wasn't just a theological challenge to the church. Luther destroyed the entire social hierarchy of the Middle Ages. He destroyed feudalism. He destroyed the ecclesiastical hierarchy, the Catholic Church. He destroyed the economic system of merchant cities and feudalism and replaced it with capitalism. And he destroyed the political hierarchy of the Middle Ages. Luther brought about a complete revolution in European thought. And we today live with the consequences of that. We forget how radical Luther really was. He was earth-shakingly radical. He brought about an economic revolution, social revolution, political revolution. He brought about capitalism, brought an end to feudalism, and he destroyed the idea that the Pope can determine what happens in your society. And when he was writing, people were still being killed and burnt by the Catholics all across Europe.